I started having morning sicknesses, and I was that person that my morning sickness started from day 1 to the last day of pregnancy. So I had morning sicknesses. Some of the time I used to fall down in the streets of Nairobi. Like I fell once. There is this one time I fell in Tuskegee supermarket after my Saturday classes. I just fell out of nowhere. The people who stand at the supermarket, I don't know what they are called. If you know what they are called, comment down below. So one of the chick found me there, and she just took me and sat me on a seat. So even I knew what had happened. So yes, after that I went home, and by the way guys, my tummy was small such that nobody knew I was pregnant even then. So they were like, have you taken anything? And I was like, okay, yes I have, but then I'm pregnant. I guess that's the reason as why I'm falling. So they're like, okay, but next time take care, you should take care of yourself. So I was with my friend Lona, so I just went and boarded a car back to home. So, and then there's this other time I fell on the stairs at our home place. I fell, but nothing happened to the baby. And then there's this other time I just fell just like that. Yes guys, as I had promised you, we'll tackle on part 2 of this segment. So I don't know what happened to the video that I had shot before. It was okay, I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, as long as you have me, you've got the video. So yes guys, we'll go back, we'll start from where we left it. So as I was saying, never plan for your babies, because God's timing is always the best. So he left and went, and I was left in the house. So I started feeling the pains. Then I was like, okay, I think the baby is craving ngumu, because I used to have cravings of ngumu. I know, awkward. Comment down below if you ever had cravings and tell me what cravings you had. So I used to have cravings of ngumu. So I woke up in the morning, I wore clothes and just took off to the shop. I went to fetch for ngumus. So while I was at the shop, I just felt my body is refusing to function, my body just refused to function, and I was like, okay, I think this is it, but then I wasn't sure. So I went and talked to a friend of mine who's a mom there at the shop, and I asked her, by the way, how does it feel having labor pains, and she told me it's just a sharp pain that comes and goes across. And I was like, okay, I'm not feeling that, so that isn't labor pains. Then I said to myself, but I'm feeling a lot of pain. So I told myself, let me just consult my doctor. So I called my doctor and I asked her, and she told me, by the way, if you've not packed, go and pack your clothes, because it's time. So I just waited, and I called hubby and I told him everything, and he was like, okay, I'm at work, but then let me try and come. I'll come. So I wasn't in that kind of pain. So then after that, I just left there. I came home. I contacted my other friend, shout out Talia, and she told me when I go to the clinic I should call her so that we can go together. So I called her and we met and went. By that time, on our way, when I was going, We reached. Then after reaching, they asked me, how do you feel? And I was like, I'm feeling like something is about to come out, you know. And then they told me, okay, pay 500 blah 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 blah, blah, as in the money that we usually pay for measuring centimeters, the distance, blah blah blah. So yes, I paid, and I just went direct to the hospital. After that, that was on second. So on second, hubby came, my friend came, and we were just there waiting. Hey, the drama that is in the hospital, especially in the maternity ward. Jesus, let me not laugh, because that day I used to laugh. Then it reached a point I started feeling pain, and I was like, okay, am I feeling this pain because I'm laughing at other women, you know? The drama. So mine, I started, the labor pains started growing more and more. They started becoming strong and stronger. So and then there's this one thing I was never told before. I knew that day. So the doctor came and found me seated, and he told me, you're not supposed to be sitting, especially when you're in labor. You're supposed either to lie down or to walk. So I was seated, and I asked him why, and he told me, when you sit, the baby goes up, you know. He or she cannot come down. They just go back. I didn't know. So when I came, I was at 5 centimeters. Then in the process of me being in the hospital, she went back to 4 centimeters, you know. So I just gave myself psych. I started walking up the stairs and down, up and down. Then there's this doctor. He found me and he was like, okay, wewe msichana uko na nguvu, unatembea tembea huku tu ukichat na simu, hausikii kitu. And I was like, mimi niko tu sawa, sisikii vibaya. So yes, I continued with my walks up and down, and nothing changed. Still the baby refused to drop. So midnight. And no, another thing, by the way, nobody rubbed my back. As in, I didn't see the essence of it. And then I don't know, but then that's me. I don't know about you guys. So nobody rubbed my back. I was okay. I just tolerated everything, and I was just there sleeping, looking at other women, other mothers, laughing to myself. But then it reached to a point, my baby did not come down. Kabisa. So the doctor had to call the surgeon. So the surgeon came. No, before the surgeon came, the nurse came and told me, come to the room where we give birth. So I went there. They measured, and then she was still at 4 centimeters, and my water had not broken. So she had to break it herself, you know. When she broke it, it came out dirty, you know. And so she told me, this is serious, so it's either you or the baby. You either choose you or the baby. So I was to choose either me or the baby. If you are to do normal, one of you will have to go. So they just told me the only thing we can do here is CS. So I said, okay, it's okay, as long as I don't want to lose my baby, let me just do the CS. So I waited for the surgeon to come. The surgeon came, and that was day 3. The surgeon came on day 3 of labor pains. So the surgeon came, I signed for my CS, and after that, I was taken to the ward. In the ward, I was injected. I don't know what they call it, and I was numb. The whole body became numb. And in the process of them doing the surgery, guys, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe kabisa. Sikuwa na hewa. So I couldn't breathe. I was tired. By the way, it came to a point I felt tired and I started sleeping, and the nurse was like, you're not supposed to be sleeping, it's not healthy, it's not good. So in the process of me feeling asleep, I don't know, even when the baby when the baby came out, I didn't see her like properly. They just told me this is the baby, and they showed me it's a girl. Yes, and then after that, I think I passed out. I passed out immediately. So they did everything, and after that, the next thing I know, I found myself in a certain room full of other women who had delivered, and my baby was right next to me. I couldn't wait to hold her. So yes, that's my journey. After that, I stayed 3 days in the hospital. Then after that, we left with both hubby and my sister-in-law, and after that, we came back home. I started experiencing some changes. There's this thing, when you sleep at night, you sweat until the sheets are all wet. Have you ever experienced such? Comment down below, mothers. Wet. And because of this, yes, this one time I couldn't move. So hubby used to move me, especially when breastfeeding. I couldn't move at night, so I used to call hubby, babe, I can't move, the baby is crying. So he used to come and turn me towards the baby so that she can breastfeed. So yes, and the journey, and I started doing my work in my house when I was around. I started cooking when I was 2 months. Yes, 2 months after pregnancy, but the first month I just used to breastfeed me. And as from the 5th month is when I started doing laundry. And yes, and now the baby is all grown. She's all grown. She's very active. She's that girl that is very curious, and she's a strong girl. And she learns too fast. She's a fast learner. That's what I like about her. She's a fast learner. And yes, so guys, that's all for today, and I hope you share your experiences. And if you want me to talk about something else, comment down below. I'll gladly tackle it. So guys, yes, for those who have not subscribed, subscribe, like, share, and comment for interesting videos like this. So yes guys, thanks for watching. Love you all, and doo-doos.